Big Aussies. Well, alright guys, we will try this again. It is now after 4 o'clock. Which we got wrong the first time.
Being late. Hopefully we're here and you guys can see us. We've had a few Wi-Fi internet difficulties.
Pretty bad internet that we're getting right now. So we'll see if it stays good and you can hear us hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So we're back down at Chiapas.
So this is live right now. What is it? 4 o'clock or so on Tuesday.
Tuesday, October 30th.
The 30th.
And I don't know if we were on earlier, if we cut out, but we're sorry about the little timing mixed up. I think we got mixed up with the daylight savings and all.
And as Hillary said, we are down in the bottom of Mexico now. We're in Chiapas, the state of Chiapas, and the city of Puerto Madero, Puerto Chiapas area. The main town near here is Tapachula. Let me see if everyone can hear us. It looks like we might be a little bit loud.
How does the sound? You guys hear us okay? Too loud? Too quiet?
How does the sound?
That looks. It's normally up a bit.
Yeah, but it was in the red there, so I just thought I'd check with this. Alright, well, nothing's coming through on the chat, so I don't know if... I think... Oh, okay, there it is, but we're not getting it updated for some reason.
Huh.
Alright, guys, hold on. We can't read what you're saying. We're going to see if we can get this working. Alright.
Volume is good. Someone said tilt the camera down slightly.
A bit too bright behind. How's that?
Oh, that looks better, yeah. That's good.
Okay. Alright, we'll switch back over here.
Alright, hello everyone. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
So, yeah, well, to what Jeff said there, as a relation to where we are about the caravan, for those of you following the news, the migrant caravan of people that have been looking for asylum that were coming up from Honduras and Central America area. This is the border crossing where they crossed into Mexico. Tapachula, we're about probably 10 kilometers, 5-ish miles from the border there. Yeah. And this is where Mexico sent all their extra troops down to handle that.
There was a ton of police. The drive we just did, we went through tons of checkpoints, but everyone's really nice, friendly.
Very friendly.
No problems.
Yeah. And they certainly weren't looking for us, so it wasn't really an issue as well. But how's everyone going out there?
Someone says our faces are shaded.
Well, the sun's a bit back there, yeah.
It is.
I could sit, why don't you sit over this way a little bit? You want to sit on that rock maybe? Or?
Okay. We'll readjust and see if we can get some better lighting.
Can't get it too much better, but we'll see how that works a little bit there. Yeah, sure. I'll find a place.
Yeah. So this is a beautiful Marina Chiapas. It's like man-made channels. We're like a mile inland right now, and it's just like beautiful mangroves, flat, calm lake back here. Beautiful mozzies, mosquitoes everywhere. We've got some spray with us because they're huge ones sitting on us right here. Yeah. But yeah, it's perfect for that. Not much breeze, which makes it hot, but a lot hotter than when we were here earlier in the summer. I don't know what it is today. It's a lot of humidity is the problem here. Yeah, I think I looked at the weather and it's supposed to be like mid-80s, but feels like 99 or something Fahrenheit. So still pretty warm. No, we haven't really seen the troops. I mean, we did on our drives down. There was the checkpoints were increased. They had much more presence at their immigration checkpoints and a lot more military presence, but the main presence has been on the actual border, trying to help them with the border crossings and so on. Yep. 55 and raining. It was raining when we were in Portland the other day. Yeah. Yeah. Sneaky crocodiles. I don't think there's any crocodiles here. I hope not. Haven't seen any around. I've paddleboarded quite a bit around here. But there will be some coming shortly. Up. How was it stepping on Varuna? As somebody said, we'd probably think it was small, and you thought it was... It felt very, very, very small. Very small, but it felt great. But good. Really good. She feels like an awesome boat. We know she's a great boat. Yeah. Well set up. It's a nice boat.
Oh, okay. What kind of rigging are you getting done on there, Teus? Do you have mechanical fittings on there, or what are you kind of doing with that? Boat's doing great. No, I mean just messy. We're trying to right now to clean it and organise it.
Find homes for things.
Yeah, even though it hasn't been sitting for long, and we've kept it clean, it's so humid down here. The mold is like out of control. So
it's only
everything's
been
moldy.
a couple months, and there's mold. All the cabinets pretty much have mold in them. We've been trying to clean those out. The ceiling, curtains, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Walter, that may be... I guess really what it'll come down to is our plan right now, and we'll go into this more in a minute because we've got some questions from our patrons we want to really dig into deep, but we've got ourselves until around April, which comes up. That's some timing we've got to deal with the marina in Hawaii. It's also a better time then to cross to the mainland. We're getting into the spring season when we can cross back over relatively easily.
Better weather up on the west coast there rather than right now. It's kind of stormy fall weather.
Yeah, and then we'll go into that with our thing was really just a cost issue. Mostly it was a cost issue of having to stay in Hawaii for a length of time. We weren't really enjoying that side of it. When we found out it cost us more than what a taxi would cost to take like an Uber, then we realised we were somewhere very expensive. Hey Roslyn, Ian Flower, you're all there. Nice.
Oh, Neil's carving a pumpkin in Florida. Sounds nice.
In Florida? Yeah, I don't think they're carving pumpkins in Australia at all.
They don't do Halloween in Australia, really, do they?
Not really like that. They wouldn't waste pumpkin on a decoration, that's for sure. You guys are all up. Hey, we gave you an extra hour sleep-in time for the Aussies, so that's why we purposely made sure we were late. Looks like our stream health's not the best again, but I'm going to pull up some questions here. And we're in Chiapas in the... where are we? Is it called Chiapas Marina?
Marina Chiapas is where we're at, yeah.
All right. So we had a few questions that we posed to people here, and basically it was the boat in Hawaii, which is now named Makara.
Yes.
We got all our documentation changed. So was it too good to pass up on price, or was it cloudy judgment from being overtired from all your scouting trips? And then they said that might help others still in the boat buying process with those decisions.
It was probably a bit of both on those things.
Yeah, I think. Well, was it too good to pass up?
It wasn't too. I mean, it was a good deal. It wasn't too good to pass up because I think we could have gotten other good deals as well. But I think we were just kind of really worn out, ready to be done looking and have something.
Yeah, I would say it was more we were worn out and overtired.
Yeah. And
then the factor into that, what we've been thinking about for a while now is, I think it really came down to the Hawaii factor. And that really added to the fact that we were already tired. Now we've gone and spent a lot of extra money to go to Hawaii to look at a boat that I think we maybe felt a little more.
Yeah, we just felt very rushed in Hawaii, I think. And part of it was the seller was really pushing for a quick sale. And we were kind of ready to buy a boat quickly. We were kind of sick of the whole process. And like you were saying, it wasn't cheap to get there or to be there, so we probably weren't as thorough as we should have been in the process of checking everything out to see if it was really Jamie. The right boat for us. Yeah.
We do need a remote control, I tell you. I got to get up these rocks. Bigger than smaller. Yeah, I don't... I mean, we had a lot of people say, it's SV Jukes. G'day, guys. Hawaii has there's a lot of people we noticed in Hawaii that are living in their cars, and that's it. They've been sleeping in their cars for the last 20 years, it seems like, and they just go surfing. Bless you. Going smaller. I mean, we did meet what we wanted. We wanted a bigger boat for where we were going south. We wanted to get more equipment and not have to worry about space as much when we're putting cold weather gear on board. We're getting extra lines for shore tying, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet, probably 1,000 feet of line. And that's now, we always, people have done this for centuries, but definitely people have been cruising for the last 40, 50 years. And have done it on boats as small as Varuna and boats much smaller than Varuna. A lot of the classic or well-known cruises. Is there a mozzie in my hair?
Yeah, it's gone now.
They're flying around everywhere.
I know.
There's people that have done it on much smaller boats. So it's perfectly doable. We just need to continuously reevaluate
what we need on board
and manage that a bit better. And then of course the specific boat does come into effect there. A big thing between Varuna or what's kind of more in the these Mozzies are more of a performance cruiser is what Varuna is. So what that is, it's kind of the newer generation of boats around, I don't know, they're probably 70s-ish is when they kind of started, where they started going away from the full keel, which was a much heavier, slower, traditionally slower boat, right? The advantage with those types of boats, though, is that you had a lot of space down in the water of the boat, basically in the bilge or like as a ballast. So your tanks were all down very low, so it was very stable, and it also meant you had space up above the floorboards. On Varuna, being the newer style boat with a smaller keel and everything, the tanks are now up under the settees where people sit, which is a great place for storage, but unfortunately when you've got a 50-gallon tank in there, you lose that now and it's not storage.
And I think we do have a decent amount of storage on Varuna, but we don't have really good big bulk storage, which was our main thing that we were looking for. So we're considering maybe taking out a water tank or something on Varuna so we can open that up to have some big bulk storage for like tools, the dive gear, that sort of stuff.
A few questions I saw go by. We have been considering steel boat. We would actually really like a steel.
Love a steel or aluminum.
Or aluminium, which are just usually way more expensive and out of our price range for good aluminium boats. We did, no, I don't think, that somebody asked about, do we regret not buying a bigger boat in the first place? I would say no at all.
I think anything bigger would have been too hard for us being brand new to this. Varuna was the perfect size. She's so easy to manage.
I think going bigger right up could actually be a very big reason that discourages people from continuing. Varuna's a great size. We found a really good size for two people for sure. Perfect size for coastal cruising.
Yep.
And a perfect comfortable boat for a couple. I think our thing was it'd be great if you were staying in tropics, latitude type sailing, coastal sailing. It's the going south when we want to get lots of extra cold weather type of equipment is where we found that we could do with a bit bigger of a boat.
Yeah. Someone said, did we look at the Freya 39? We did look at one in San Francisco on our way back from Hawaii. It was a nice boat. The one in San Francisco, we weren't particularly interested in that one. There's a couple further south in California that we're interested in. We just kind of wanted to get an idea of size and layout.
Mozzies everywhere.
And it was nice.
Yeah, we like the Freyas. Right now we've got two boats. We can't afford a third one. We don't want a third one. So we'll see what happens. There is one we like in Los Angeles. Yeah, Rand's got a nice boat there. There's his aluminium. I know Sea Dog, Ventures of an Old Sea Dog, he's got a steel boat.
Yep.
I think he's down in Panama somewhere still.
He hasn't left.
Yeah. Varuna's dimensions, it's about 36.5 feet, which is like an 11.5 meters, something like that.
Yeah.
11 meters. G'day, Dusty. Hey, I'm from Browns Plains. Where are you in Browns Plains? Anyway, what were we saying? How wide? About 3 meters.
12 feet wide?
Yeah, 11 feet wide.
I think she's 12.
What else? 5.6 deep for 5.6 feet draft, which is the water below the length below the water line. So basically, you don't want to go in anything shallower than 5 feet, because you'll be stuck. Let's see what else.
Catamaran. I don't think we've ever really considered a catamaran.
No.
It's just not for us. What's with the metal boats? They're awesome. You can hit things with them, like icebergs.
There was obviously a big swing to. It's like anything when new stuff comes along, right? So it took a long time for people to catch on to fiberglass boats because people were totally against this plastic boat type thing. And they also built them super strong back then, which made them really good because these plastic boats were made really thick fiberglass when they were first doing these in the late 50s, 60s, whatever. And the traditional more steel boats and so on fell out of favor. but steel boats have been around, and that's what cruise ships. Everything's made of steel.
All the big commercial boats are all made of steel. Yeah,
I mean, of course, any boat can sink. But, yeah.
We'd have to learn how to weld and all that good stuff, but in a way, they're kind of easier to maintain than fiberglass. Really, maybe more maintenance, but easier maintenance.
Yeah. That's funny, Dusty. My parents are down in Tassie now. They live down there. You should catch up with them. They're down in Scamander. No one lives there. There's like 2 or 3 people that live there. I think that's about it.
We originally thought about
Titanic.
Buying.
Hey, Scott, the Titanic. Oh yeah, that sank. Yeah, that sank. Okay, all right, you got us there, Scott. Yeah, but they're building a second one, so you know.
Ben asked if we were considering buying in Europe. That was our original plan. Our very first plan, we wanted to go buy an ex-charter boat there, and just decided we didn't like that style of boat.
Yeah, steel boat is a lot of work. That's the really only negative with steel. It's just, well, you need to make sure it's a good build when you when it was originally laid up. But then there's also a lot of work to make sure it stays in good shape. But any boat is a lot of work. It's just a different type of work.
Different type of work. Yep.
Yeah. True. Yeah, the steel does. I mean, it'll show you if it's rusting out somewhere. Sorry. At least 6 people in Scamander. I got that wrong. The problem is no one knows where Scamander is. All right, I was going to pull up another one here. Cause we've got another question. Where's my remote control? Abu Dhabi? Yeah. Okay. It's from Chrissy. All right. Oh, I should probably leave it up so we can read it.
So we know what we're talking about.
They'd want to know how we've gotten good at
fixing
things on the boat, from sails to engines. Do we have lots of books on board that help guide you with electrical and engine and sail stuff? So, how do we know what we're doing?
We don't. No, we try. We have a few books on board. We found a lot of the books to be kind of outdated, but still have some good info in them. A lot of our stuff, if we have to do a project, we go online and look up other people that have done it and see how they do it, really.
Yeah, we have the classic books. We have the kind of standard books that everyone really tells you to get, whether it be for engines, electrical sails, whatever that is, rigging and all that sort of jazz. And generally it is out of date, like everything is these days by the time you buy it. But it has the general, the general kind of steps behind it doesn't change. But really, yeah, I think it's more, we don't tend to, usually we figure it out while we're doing it, or we're asking people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people you meet that have either just done something, so whenever you meet someone, they're like, oh, I just sewed my sail last week on the shore. That's a perfect time to ask some questions about how they do sail how they sew their sails.
Yep. We've gotten lots of awesome tips from all of you guys out there. I know some of you guys are really knowledgeable about different subjects, so some of your tips have been super helpful, and then good old YouTube.
Hey, we want to get to Abu Dhabi someday. We want to sail over to Oman. That's kind of a plan. We'd love to go to Oman first.
Yeah.
Chilly Niagara Falls. Sounds good today. It was cold where we were the other day, but now we're back here and it's bloody hot.
Someone says you're a natural.
They said Qatar's looking for ground crew. Whereabouts? In Abu Dhabi? There's a lot of teaching on YouTube. That's what's good.
There is, yeah. Some really good stuff on there.
Not really, Mike. We had a lot of people kind of mention that, and the dollar is really good. We're talking about the Aussie dollar, but you can look at a lot of different currencies like that. The problem you have to look at, though, is that the boats tend to be overpriced. They have a very high value in Australia. That's why a lot of the people that sail from here to Australia, they do their one cruise they want to do, right? Their plan is to sail across the Pacific Ocean. They get to New Zealand or Australia and they sell their boats. So you're generally going to make some pretty good money over there. Thanks, Mike today. MC. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Boatworks today is good. Andy's good.
I was just watching Andy on Boatworks yesterday on one of his where he made the mold. He made a mold for a hatch, for a Cape Dory hatch, because we eventually have to do something with. We've always known our hatches in our sailing, our lazarettes in the cockpit. One of them's really bad.
Let's put our video back on. We still have the question up.
Oh, whoops.
Sorry.
Nobody's looking at us. This is why we need the remote. I can't do all this at once. So, Yeah. So Andy anyway was doing a hatch that he made a mold, and then he did a fiberglass thing, and so that was fun to watch. I was doing that yesterday. Whenever we last had decent internet, I think maybe in Mexico City Airport, I was watching that.
Were you? Oh.
Yeah, it was either there or I think it was Mexico City Airport. Yeah.
Huh. Let's see.
Next for our adventures.
Back on Runa, we're taking off. The plan is to head south. We think. Well, to Central America.
Yeah.
We think. Yeah.
Oh, they got there's a Dubai Muscat race.
Oh.
That'd be cool. Is that like a serious race sailing legend, or is it more of like just a cruising rally, or do you have to be like hardcore racer? Either way, I guess there's no one stopping you from following along. It'll be fun. Main reason for not sailing back to the mainland was it's not the right time, really. It's not the best time. The best time is more spring through
and
early summer.
Yeah.
And we didn't feel confident enough with that new boat to us to take on a more challenging time period. That was the big game changer, because that's what meant we had to be there for 6 months in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but but we don't want to go to Australia right now. We want to go to Chile first.
Yes.
But yeah. You know us, it's a possibility. We could go anywhere. We don't know what we're doing next week, so.
No, we don't. Spanish? Yeah. I took Spanish in high school.
Okay.
And had a really good Spanish teacher in high school, and then lots of practice here. You make me practice a lot.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on. I know the words, I don't know how to put them into a sentence, but yeah, Michael's saying that you won't make any money taking it to Australia. Everyone thinks they'll sell it, but no one does.
Yeah.
I think that's general with boats anywhere in the world, it seems like. I think everyone feels like they're going to sell their boat, and they put it up for a really high price of what they think it is, or for the $80,000 they put into it last year, and then they want all of that back, and generally it doesn't. And that's where we've got it listed now. We'll take whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll be happy if we just break even on it, but we don't really want to be paying for a slip in Hawaii.
No.
And we do love that boat. And it'd be a totally different story if we had it in Mexico, or
where we
States.
Could do some good work on it.
Yeah.
It would be totally different story.
Our plan was to get it straight to Mexico, basically, and then we could. Whatever we needed to do would be so cheap for us. And first of all, it'll be cheap and easy to live there, because you can live on Anchor or whatever, and it's very cheap, and you're close to everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very cheap to get everything you need as well. All right, let me get another question here. Chillax. South America does sound.
Yeah,
we're looking forward
we can't
to
wait to get down there. It'll be a bit delayed now.
All right. This is from. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen Undocumented Human, but you should check them out. They are a family that have done a lot of stuff, actually, and they are now on a boat. They used to do vans, and they are now on a boat in the.
They're on a Pearson.
Is it a Pearson they're on?
I think it's a Pearson
40 or something.
323.
323.
I don't know if she's on here, but
they're in the Gulf of Mexico, right? Is that what it's called? No,
yeah.
the Gulf.
Yeah, the Gulf of Mexico, Texas
area. And I believe they're going to be heading south soon, if not already. And anyway, the question is if we're going to be going through the Panama Canal to meet them, and the answer is, are you going to be coming through the canal to meet us? So,
no plans for the canal for us.
No plans for the canal. No, we plan on going past the canal.
Past it,
and south. All right, and I'll go to one more, and then we can jump on to what you guys are saying. I think we had one more here, because it's a long one. We'll have to digest this one. So John wanted to know, basically, I think he was saying, like, what's the key difference that makes Makara too big? Dark, dirty, just better to clean up, but otherwise she looks like a great boat. Some interior refinishing could be done while cruising. Other people have painted white over teak to lighten things up, like Mads and Sail Life. We know a lot of people have done that. How did Varuna look after being on the larger boats?
Well, let's see.
Vanished again.
I don't think
it wasn't too big.
It wasn't too big. I think more of the low 40s is more of a sweet spot in terms of size, because of all the other things that come into the boat, like if you were in a slip, paying for the slip, the rigging, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, I guess that's. I'm trying to think now why he said that, but probably because we had mentioned that it was too big. So our plan was never to look at a 48-foot boat in that range. We were looking, like Hillary says, a low 40s was what we thought would be the sweet spot for us.
And I think a well-designed low 40-foot boat, you'd get the same amount of space that we had in that 48-foot boat.
Yeah, the thing with it being too big was that the wording is probably better, that we did not need one that big.
That big.
It wasn't that it was too big, it's just there's no point in us paying and having to clean and maintain a bigger boat if we just don't need that big of a boat. And a 48-foot boat was just too much stuff for what we needed.
Handling wise, I think it was, once we got the hang of it, I think it was not that much different, really.
No, I think it handled really good. It was deceptive because it was a center cockpit, so the part forward made it look like the same size as Varuna. And the handling was really good. The sails balanced superbly, so you could set the sails and it would just sail a beautiful straight line. We did, Ed. They were here last week when we drove down, and they just messaged us today. I think they're in Huatulco, but they left here about
a week
ago, and they sailed north.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're heading up into the sea.
What else? Did we finish answering that question? Was there another part to that question?
No, I think it was...
I thought stepping on Varuna.
Yeah. I mean, it's smaller. It's always going to see smaller. G'day, someday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Hey, do you have anything, a specific question at all that we can answer for you? Or so I know we had all our questions there from the patrons, but if you've got a specific question you want, mate, shoot it to us and we'll try and dig in deeper. That's what we're here for right now. We're still trying to unpack our own decisions and mistakes, and we still had thoughts on the way down here. Is this the right decision, and so on? And because it is a great boat, we love the boat. I really think, for me personally, it was Hawaii. Hawaii was the killer. I
agree.
Thanks very much. Sails and tails.
Oh,
Cheers. Thank you. Yeah, we hope to see you out there, mate.
Yeah. Someone asked about. Thank you.
Thanks.
Laura.
Thanks a lot.
Someone asked about storing the boat on the hard in Hawaii, which we never looked into. I think there's only one haul out in all of Hawaii on Oahu, so I would imagine there isn't a whole lot of space, and it would be not cheap.
Yeah. Well, like even where we are right now in Hawaii, there's like a 3-year wait list to be in the marina. So we're in a transient slip. Quick and easy underway bread recipe.
Oh. We like the 4-day rising recipe.
Yes. Yeah, Hillary got me a great book for last Christmas called The Bread Bible, and it's like every recipe in there is like a 4-day rise time. It's like 10 rises. Punch it down, let it sit for 24 hours. Punch it down again, let it sit for 24 more hours. But yeah, we'll shoot some more. We've got some good bread recipes we like.
Oh, Mike L. Hawaii says there's 2 haul-outs there, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we figured. And it's always, if we're going to be listing a boat, I feel like it's always harder to sell a boat on the hard, not on the water as well. So that probably was why we didn't look too much into that.
No, thanks, Lyra. No worries, man. Every little bit helps, and thanks for just being here. Why would we not consider who said we wouldn't consider a Hans Christian, mate? I swear we have talked about this. We
love the Hans Christian.
Yeah.
They tend to be, they definitely hold their value well, so it's hard to find a good budget deal one. And it's a heavier boat, but we're not opposed to a heavier boat.
Let's see. Yeah, I hear the Acapulco 40 is a great boat, mate. Yeah. No, it would be. Again, it's you're going along the lines of Hans Christians. You've got full-keeled, they're great boats. They're, to each their own. It really depends on what you're looking for in a boat. Hello, Melissa. We were just in Hamilton yesterday. No, the day before.
In Portland? Yeah.
Portland, yeah. Yeah. Yes, we looked at a Hans Christian, and that Hans Christian we looked at got bought, and we know them. They're down in San Carlos, Mexico right now. They've had to do a lot of work on that boat, and it was not cheap.
Yeah.
The Hans Christian. And generally, they're probably usually out of our price range, but they're great boats. They're really solid boats. If you don't know what a Hans Christian is, look up a Hans Christian sailboat. They are pretty much the epitome of a traditional looking but modern cruising yacht. And I think they're still making them, I believe.
Thank you. Proteus Rising said, what's floating behind us? No, whatever is washing in. The tide's coming in. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Coconuts, trash.
Yeah, it's relatively clean, but we're kind of up in a little bit of a mangrove channel with all the mozzies up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys know we like the Robert Perrys. So, g'day, Gary. G'day. So somebody did ask about the Hawaii, what we thought it was, like cruiser friendly.
Okay,
and
yeah.
that's a hard. It depends on what you would consider cruiser friendly or what you need in terms of cruising.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of like, can you stay there and get everything you need? No, it's difficult for marine parts unless you're on Oahu.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for marine supplies, then I would say you really want to be going over to Oahu. But if you're cruising, that's not far. It's an overnight kind of sail over to Oahu from where we were on Maui.
The bigger thing probably is there's not a whole lot of really protected anchorages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to check it out, but there's one big, huge bay on the north side of Oahu.
Mike probably knows. Yeah, Kanohe Bay, is that the one?
It's supposed to be really nice and calm.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, anchorages are rolly, not that great.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a bit challenging if you're not staying in marinas cruising.
Yeah. And I would say in terms of exploring, transportation is probably not super easy. There is some transportation. But Hawaii's relatively small, so I don't think they have massive they don't have as expansive public transportation networks.
There are buses though.
Yeah, no, there is. Yeah.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch. Passport, we love the passports, the Valiant 40s, the Passport 40s, or Varuna, yeah. Yeah. So we have, there's an Aussie bloke here that pulled in a couple of days ago, I think, or a week or two ago, something like that. And he bought a boat. We haven't had a good old chat with him yet.
Oh, he was on the Hard all summer.
Oh, he was on the Hard?
Yeah.
Oh, so he must have flown back. Okay.
Yeah.
He bought a boat over in Antigua. Thanks, Ed, mate. Cheers.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, or just stuff. Nah, mate. Flour and yeast is what it'll be.
Yeah.
Once we could start bloody bacon on board again and get some fresh air flowing. We hope to be out of here in about less than a week is our plan too. We've got a few little things to do on the boat and around the boat, get things tidied up, and then we'll be going south. Our plan, I went way off thing there, but our plan is to go to El Salvador. That's our next stop.
Yep, the Gulf of Fonseca borders on El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua.
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed.
All three countries there. But anyway, where was I at with whatever the heck I was talking about?
I don't know. You go off on weird tangents.
I know. I don't know what I was on about. Something. Oh, the boats. No, we're talking about the boats. Anyway, the bloke that's here, he's got a CSY 44 walkover. So CSYs are great. They're one of the, probably like the original charter yacht that were made. Really, they were made for the Caribbean, and they were overbuilt like crazy. So there's good and bad about it. They're super solid, so you don't have any kind of core decks, but it also makes them very heavy on top. It's like inch thick fiberglass on top of the deck. Anyway, he said he's selling his boat, so we're going to see if he'll do a deal with us.
Maybe he'll trade us for Runa.
Yeah, our thought is if we buy another boat, we just want to pull up next to it and buy one that we like and then move everything across. We don't want to be driving and flying around.
No.
So for those of you that are out there looking, you really need to go look at these boats because you've seen how difficult it is for us to tell from pictures and from what people tell you about boats. You really need to go look at it in person. But yes, that is draining, and that's what really exhausted us.
Yep.
I think.
We could sail the boat to Mexico. Possibly. It's a long sail to Mexico from Hawaii.
Yeah, it's tough to get to Mexico. I think it'd be more than likely it'd be it'd be like bottom of Mexico, probably.
Realistically, the way the currents and the winds are,
with the winds, without tacking, that is, without as in terms of a straight shot, because Hawaii is pretty much parallel with Baja, bottom of Baja, Cabo area, around that area, I think.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Dukes. Appreciate
you.
that, guys. Looking forward to seeing you on the water, guys.
Yeah, there's lots of people that buy the boat sight unseen, and I don't know, it's just a big gamble, really.
So, if you guys don't know the guys on SV Nutshell, they're a couple of crazy old Aussies. You know how they are, but they still work up in Far North. I think they live in Airlie Beach, and they run they do like tour businesses stuff. So they still go back to Australia, But they were living in the UK for a while on a narrow boat in the canals, and then they bought this Hans Christian 43 in Panama, sight unseen. They did all right. I mean, it needed a lot of work, but he knew what he was doing, and now they've got a boat that's probably going to be worth a pretty penny for them when they decide to sell it.
Yeah, really nice boat.
Mm-hmm. Well, we like island packets.
A lot of response. We did have a lot of people, well, for the sail back from Hawaii. It was hard because we posted it so last minute. So we had a lot of people that were interested, but not a whole lot
Tough
that
timing.
were actually, could make it work on that short of notice, which we knew it was really short notice. But
Yeah.
we were supposed to have Dan, one of our patrons, a really cool guy. We're bummed that we couldn't make that happen.
And he made such last minute concessions too to make that happen. But hopefully we'll get him on board again someday. Well, our plan was Scott would have been got to take the currents up to Oregon. But that's the problem. This time of year is not the time to be doing that sail, really. Not ideal. And commission a captain, partially crossed our minds, but we wouldn't be able to afford it.
It's crazy expensive, and our experience with captains, I don't know if we'd trust one.
Ron, I believe we know about that Acapulco 40 in Brookings. I think Glassman is on here, and I believe he's looked at that boat.
Yeah, he should know all about
he
that
bought
one.
one. Is that the one he bought, though?
I don't know if there were two for sale. Yeah, I don't know what the name of the one he got was. Let's see.
Thanks, Victor. Appreciate it. Hey, Victor, you guys just grabbed that water maker from Stu, right?
Yeah, I think that was
because we were up at Stu's house just the other day as we were driving through, and I think he mentioned that if it's the right people I'm thinking of, you and Judy had just grabbed a water maker from him. So if that was, well, g'day, and hope it all goes well.
Yeah, I hope it's working well for you.
Yes, the boats are all Coast Guard documented. We got new documentation in Hillary's name for the one in Hawaii, and I did see somebody ask about what the price was earlier on there, and it's on the listing. What is it, 89?
I think it's listed at 89, yeah.
But we would sell it for a lot less than that.
Yeah.
Trust me. Cheers to Island Packet. Island Packet 38. Beauty.
Nice.
Man, Island Packets are nice. Another boat that holds value extremely well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bought Wind Chime in Brookings. Oriana is still on the slip. Okay.
But with a new owner.
So they sold it.
What else? Anything else we want to share?
Don't know. What else is going on? What do you want to share? It's hot.
It is hot. It's not as hot as it was over the summer, but it's still very hot. Hard to do stuff down here.
What river did you get off, mate?
Oh, wow.
Priority for the next 90 days. Good question, Robert.
We want to get back to cruising. Back out on the water. Sailing. We're going to get out of here. We want to get down, check out some more of Central America. So that'll be what's next.
Our current plan has not really changed from originally. Our plan, we really want to head south towards Chile. How that will work is we'll probably be spending the next year-ish basically in Central America. Maybe
a bit of Colombia, Ecuador.
Bit of the top of South America.
Because this is the ideal time to be making our way down to south. So our plan was November, December, sail to Easter Island and then across to Chile. And that won't happen now. We thought about taking off and going, but it would be hard to go back and deal with the boat in Hawaii if we had to do that. So.
D-Man, what part of the Colorado? Are you on the Grand Canyon or up in like actual Colorado area, or where are you on that? So I know they're doing when's the high flow the experiment? Is that in November?
I saw something online. It was a couple weeks, or it's coming up, or
I think it's early November. Okay. I think it's planned for like November.
I saw someone posting that they had a trip during the high flow. Yeah.
Maybe we'll see you down there guiding, mate.
Yeah.
Ed, jeez.
I did vote. We were just back up in the States, and my parents brought my ballot down to me, so got to do that.
Ed, when will she be visiting again? Who knows? She is so busy with schooling, and she's trying to get everything finished so she can either go to college next year and finish high school early, or take a gap year. I'm trying to get her to take a gap year. And I invited her to try and come hiking with us next year. We might plan a trip next year hiking somewhere. But that's all pretty early stages. Otherwise, I don't know. She says she'll come when we go to French Polynesia. She speaks fluent French, so that'd be good because neither of us speak French. So that'd be good to have her for that. But whenever she wants to be here, whenever she wants to come.
And said, are we sorry that we talked ourselves into the boat search in the first place? It's easy to say yes, but probably not. I like to not have regrets and move on because we would have been. I think if we hadn't done it, then we would probably still be talking about it.
Yeah, it would have come up at some point. So I think yes and no, because yes, it would have been good to avoid all that, but I think we would have been constantly curious and it would have come up again at some point.
Yeah.
And the reason why we made that decision at that point is because we felt we were in a better position, being in the bottom of Mexico where we could leave Varuna. We thought this would be a better point to make that decision rather than being down in the bottom of Chile, where it's more expensive to go anywhere. You can't drive to it really not from here.
Crazy far from anything.
And that's why we bought the car, so we could, we put 20,000 miles on that car in about 3 months. So we got a lot of use out of that car.
Let's see.
I'd like to think she wants to go there, Ed.
What nav equipment is on Varuna? We have pretty basic stuff. We use the Raspberry Pi.
Thanks, P-Cars. Cheers, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Much appreciated.
We have pretty basic navigation stuff on Varuna. We use the Raspberry Pi chart plotter. There's a chart plotter on there, but we don't use it.
Yeah, so we have an older Raymarine C70.
Yep.
Is the unit on there. We do have AIS, a transceiver, so it's a send and receive AIS, which is a automatic identification system. I think that's how, which is kind of a more modern version of a radar in a way, but not via radar technology. It's all like it's through VHF. It's through the airwaves, and it sends a lot more detailed information. So you can send the information about who you are, where you are, what your heading is, and all that sort of stuff. And that's what all the commercial boats have.
Could have sailed from Hawaii to French Polynesia to Easter Island. We could have. We thought about French Polynesia is so close to Hawaii. It's like, I think, a 10-day sail or something like that.
Yeah, it was only 1,000 miles really from Hawaii down to South Pacific, and it's like 2,000 plus miles back to the mainland.
The big thing with that was we knew we were going to have some work to do on the boat, and French Polynesia isn't really an easy place to do work or get stuff. It's probably more expensive and harder to get stuff than in Hawaii. So that it was tempting though.
Michael has a good point there. I know there's a discussion about the island packets and the Bob Perry, whatever. But yeah, every boat, I would say every boat is a compromise. That's the way we always go looking into it. I don't think you're ever going to find a perfect boat.
No.
I think you're kind of kidding yourself if you think that's the case. You can find a boat that's definitely more suited to you. But there's always going to be elements that are better, and you have to take some and give some. You've got to have a bit of leeway.
Yep. Let's see.
Yes, Keith. That's what we use for our chart plotting. We use a Raspberry Pi.
Computer and then just a little tablet. And we also have a screen, like just a monitor down below.
Which we've been meaning to do a video on for a long time. But usually with that stuff, there's better people out there doing it. I think I was watching... Who was that the other day that did the Dyneema jacklines? I don't know if it was Uma or Atticus. I think it was Uma. They just do better videos on that. We have enough time just getting our regular videos done. So
consider Southeast Asia to do. We did not consider going. I think that's still quite a long ways from Hawaii.
Our plan is to go to Southeast Asia
eventually, a very long way.
But that was not the plan with this boat. No. On basically our ultimate goal, broad plan would be southern Chile for a couple of years, head back towards South Pacific, and make our way via somewhere. New Zealand, Australia, what's the Northern Islands? Not the Marshall Islands, Southeast Asia. That's pretty far out there.
That's a long ways off.
Yeah. Well, we have OpenCP that runs on
the
Raspberry Pi, which runs on a larger monitor down below, and then it runs as a wireless, like headless unit to a tablet. It was Uma, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a good job of the splicing there, and they were using I don't think you saw that one. That was another one I watched at the airport. They were low friction rings, and basically that was basically the setup that we had on Makara, the boat in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
it was all low friction rings for their lifelines and Dyneema lifelines and everything like that.
Oh, let's see.
We did the jack line braid video, yeah.
Any plans to have sailors for crew on our passage?
Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe? Yes. We think we have someone coming to join us as crew very soon here. I won't say too much because we'll probably do a big announcement about that.
We'll probably change it too, yeah.
But yes, we might have some crew coming up soon.
And that'll be a test, because that was part of our thing for our bigger boat too, is that we don't think Varuna's the best boat to have multiple people on board, but again, people do it with small boats. It's just, you know, if you want a bit of space, it's nice to have, especially here where it's so hot. It's hard to get cold. Well, you don't get cold. It's hard to get cool. That might be the better thing.
Hard to not be sweating.
Do have our digitized charts. We still need to digitize more. We've got lots of paper charts for all those regions, and we also have a lot of digitized ones.
Yeah.
Or we have images of the charts, but they need to be converted into an actual raster chart, which we're still got to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're hoping we get to Chile. I really am looking forward to picking up a crab pot.
Yeah,
I want to try some crabbing in Chile. We think that'd be a good place to do some crabbing.
Yeah, crabs, salmon.
We just don't know where to put a big crab pot.
I'm excited for cold weather. Thanks for joining Dusty Shores. We'll see you around.
Robert, yes, for the most part, it's surprising. I think we've just, even when we're off the boat for a while, we tend to be pretty good now when we get back on the boat in terms of seasickness. I think generally if we're going out on a big passage, we'll still take seasickness pills for the first day or two.
If we know it's going to be a bit choppy. Yeah,
just because we don't want to end up being sick when we're heading out for a long passage. But then we'll just kind of wean ourselves off of it. And generally, we had some pretty rough waters there in Hawaii, and we were fine there as well. I mean, it'd be different if we were spending a long time below, maybe, but...
Yeah. We are ready to get back to normal, that's for sure.
Are you not in the picture?
I think I am.
I don't know. Someone said running away, but I don't know.
They said they had a... Oh. I don't know.
So, Keith, my opinion on synthetic rigging, no. I don't like it. That's just... I like it for certain things. We haven't done a ton of research on it. We haven't done a ton of research, but I just... Someone's alarm's going off. I just don't think so. Replacing wire rigging with Dyneema synthetic rigging, and it's kind of funny because I go back to what we said earlier about the old school people that said, "Oh, plastic boats will never, they're dangerous. You'll sink in them," and there's millions of them out there today. Yeah. I just think it's similar to lithium batteries, right? And I think lithium batteries are great, and I think synthetic rigging is great. I just think right now, you can be an early adopter. I think it's great if you want to be an early adopter and check it out. I just think it needs to be proven a little bit more. I think there's a lot more wear issues. I think, it's much more susceptible to any sort of chafing or anything like that. So you definitely want to be paying attention to chafing, because that's going to take your rigging down pretty quick, smart. And it's also just generally not, it's not as UV resistant. I guess that's probably the one, right? So it's going to wear, I think, quicker. Personally, that's my opinion anyway. But you could probably get wire rigging in most ports around the world now, but finding the right kind of Dyneema could still be challenging. And the same thing goes for what I was saying about lithium. It's a great technology, and I think it's good, but the price is such a big upfront price on it. I mean, unless you've got the money to throw at it, and again, if something goes wrong with it when you're in a different part of the world, it's going to cost you so much to try and troubleshoot that. Yep. All right, Keith. Should we wrap things up? We should. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Was there something I'm supposed to talk about? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, because I don't... No, I don't think so. No, we're trying to find homes for everything on the boat. We had a bird nest on the boat when we were here last week, but it's gone. We drove... So last week, we were here a week ago. We drove the car down to unload all the stuff, then drove it back to the States, and there were 2 little baby doves on our boom, but they flew away now. Now we just had their poop to clean up. You cleaned up today. Yeah. Yeah, about the synthetic rigging, if you're curious, and a lot of you probably already know, if you're already curious about the synthetic rope rigging stuff, then check out Sailing Zingaro.
Which I saw a post the other day.
Yeah, I watched that one too.
Did they get rid of it?
No, well, I don't know. Oh, I don't know what post I saw. They had a part 3 where they updated it, where they got contacted by Brion Toss about some issues that he saw with it, and they redid it. They rechanged some of mainly their toggles, I think, is what they changed.
Okay.
But so I don't know about the picture we saw. Anyway, but yeah, that's if you want to see about some synthetic rigging, that's a channel you can check out. Yeah, it's just not something we want to go down into Chile and figure out. Though we do need to do our rigging on Varuna.
If we go, that's one of our projects this year. Before we go down to Chile, we'd like to redo the rigging if we're going to be sticking with Varuna.
That's something we're going to maybe look at doing in Panama if we can. And we have stay lock fittings, so hopefully it'll be relatively easy if we can just get the wire and see how we go. Is that a grok behind you? I hope not. What does JEBP say there? Grande Cajuan? Is that real? Is that Spanish or is that? What is that?
That's Portuguese, I think. Yeah, that's Portuguese. I can kind of read it. Very honest. Living. I wish you the best, I believe.
Saying it to Freedom did. Yeah, a lot of boats are doing the synthetic rigging now. Yeah.
Oh, he wrote it in English. Great couple. Very honest in the life of sailor. I wish many congratulations. All the best in the future.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I can kind of interpret Portuguese.
All right, guys, we're gonna wind it up.
Yeah.
They want you to keep it simple, stupid.
Huh.
I think that's what that stands for. Is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. All the boats, Ocean Crossing. If you look at more boats, please bring your camera. Yes, we need to bring the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been a bit under. You know, you saw the video. We're trying to keep it positive, but we've been a little bit thingy. End your stream with a kiss? What is with this? Here, I'll kiss your hand.
Aww.
Alright guys, we're going to say goodbye.
Adios.
Thanks for joining us. Sorry for the time mess up. And
in.
we'll try and do another one of these a little bit sooner next time, alright?
Yep, we'll try and be better about our timing too.
Everyone take care.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
There we